The next locale I visited was one long in the making. I have heard of it since I was a child, an abandoned radioactive place lost to time. During the atomic period of the 40s and 50s, an entire town was selected and relocated by the government to make way for a nuclear site. Little of it exists today, save for a highway, shopping mall, and the occasional store here or there. Ellington is the name of the town, named after the 9-year-old daughter of a prominent family, Ellen. Ellentown turned to Ellington. A conflict known as the Ellington Riots occurred here in 1876, which ended in a massacre. It is speculated that a little over 100 people were killed and many more wounded. The town began a serious decline during the downturn of cotton prices in the post-World War I Depression. November 28, 1952, prominent groups, the E.I. DuPont de Nemours Company and the U.S. Energy Commission would develop the Savannah River plant to begin the production of plutonium and tritium for the application of the H-bomb. Roughly 6,000 people and graves were to be relocated. Lye, Myers Mill, Robbins, Dunbarton, and Hawthorne were also cleared. Eventually little was left to the once thriving town. The land remains radiated to this day. Some tell tales of hauntings after the riots, claiming that those who died wander in legions down the abandoned town roads. Wandering around this place is adjacent to being in a time capsule. The homes that are left standing are crumbling as the roofs shine a darkened rusty red. Foliage overtakes most of them. Other than that, there is next to nothing left. As I always do, I came at night, and after an extensive period, I could hear what appeared to be footsteps wandering down the abandoned roads. Due to the radioactive nature of this place, I took precautions and did not stay long. Haunting memories of past residents still linger here. It's more of a presence than any actual evidence. Even the clouds hover over this place in an ominous display of abandonment. As for the claims of ghosts, I admit, as in previous writings, to be a non-believer. Roads to nowhere and brick stairs that lead to nothing poetic in its own haunted way, I suppose. Or if one is to be a believer in such supernatural occurrences, perhaps these lead somewhere after all, to a place we do not want to be. If my memory serves me correctly, I believe a play was even written about this abandoned place. A random road sign appears here or there, directing you to the bowels of abandonment. The residents here did not want to move even to this day, which is reflected in the rebellious winds that wrap around the desolation of withered plants and other foliage. Humans, powerless to a greater force expelling them from that which they hold dear, a tale time-tested and repeated throughout the millennia. One can't help but wonder if they are being watched somehow. The feeling overwhelms me at times. It's as if those residents are still here, angry at my trespassing on their grounds. The still of night is constantly interrupted by the howling wind. Once again I hear the footsteps, as if a legion of people are marching down these abandoned streets. I can't help but fight the urge to join them, as I was destined to stay here forever. The haunting stillness and desolation are admittedly beautiful to me. It's calming in the most sinister of ways. Soothing as the blowing horn of a midnight train. I did not expect this place to be as soothing as it is. Usually I find myself quite uncomfortable, but here it's calming. This is where I shall pen tonight's terror tale, Those Who Dwell in Darkness. I thought this was quite a fitting place to pen such a story, and would ask, as you read Those Who Dwell in Darkness, to reminisce on the calm southern nights of owls hooting, wild winds blowing, and midnight train whistles. Being in such a place as this reminds me of how alone I truly am. Those Who Dwell in Darkness. The whispered, the dreamers, they call to me as I wait for those who dwell in darkness. In the most twisted and lethargic dimensions, residing in the void of loss and sorrow, dwells his dearest friend. Darkness infused through ancient and modern evil is the key that opens the door to planes far beyond heaven and hell. Lufistray and black dressings, bless unbroken bonds of immortal solemnity. Dragon Somner, the dark poet. It is his tale we recite and his horror we recant. Upon entering that cursed dwelling, she was lost to an influence foreign, even to hell's most horrid depths. Through the night, through the day, through the forests, mountains, and rivers they searched. She was never found. Seemingly lost forever, her defiled remnants would soon be discovered. In an ethereal projection of her former self, she was poisoned by the miasma of her prison, turning her flesh pale and her eyes putrid. her features distorted, grinding her flesh into a menagerie of torture as she taunts and mocks her former lover. An astral plane of sheer horror collects the most modest of souls in order to create a sickening band of marionettes, whose purpose we may never know. Appearing in the mind of those who love them most, the marionettes exist in a prison between dimensions. Each and every appearance holds a different horror, for with every appearance the features of the marionettes change. The next time Draken would see his beloved, she would crawl through shadows, cackling as her skin twitched and pestilence overtook her naked frame. As for the cursed dwelling, some speculate it to be an entry point to another dimension. Others claim it to be the ball of a living plane of terror that lies within our own, waiting to pounce on fresh prey. The sensation of being stalked is a fear all living creatures know. Each and every animal must prey upon another. It is the natural order of life. Perhaps this is the order of existence as well. In the maddening depths of space and time, there dwells consciousness, greater than we can comprehend, and like all other life forms, these consciousnesses must feed. Hunger emits a staggering frequency that weakens the mind and twists the soul, luring in the innocent to satisfy the most depraved of tastes. What happens to these poor souls upon entry? Better to not think of such things. Perhaps they are torn from our reality, then consumed slowly and painfully by the astral energies that reshape them forever. As for poor Dragon, his mind was broken by the image of his lover. Over and over she returned to him. Each time she looked worse and worse. Her cranium bent, angled, and broken revealed her darkest thoughts in a vivid display of gray ganglia, as blood clung in dried chunks to her wild, darkened hair. The multidimensional beauty cried with glee as beings with the advent of morbidity, gleaming in their twisted eyes, reached into her broken cranium and molded her mind to the darkest of desires. The horrid, craven dwelling, built upon the ashes of haunted memories, it stood as a testament to human atrocity. Each and every occupant, sinking to the depths of depravity, committing evil acts upon animals and humans alike. Littered bones of children smolder in the depths of its hell. Some outward presence haunts the dwelling, not of heaven nor hell nor logic nor insanity, but an outlandish force drawn forth from locales that bend and twist logic to its horrid whim. Forces that hold earth in the palm of its trembling hands. Many have experienced the horror that has befallen Dragon Somner, but few have engraved their experience in withered parchment. It is this haunting word we recite before you. In Haim and in doubt mine withered love dies. In Wolfson he came, eagful we die. In angst and horror we wait in grafe. We live with Sewell, in toes soiled in blood. Screams of ethereal requiem hold imagery of lick and gore. Peace find me still. Maratus bonds us in both bliss and blasphemy, in regions foreign to heaven and hell. With peeled skin and stilled heart she stalks me in my fondest memories, painting upon sailcloth the imagery of divine wrath and ancient horror. The grave image of foreign death crawls upon rusted steel and broken bone. Defiled remembrance of Wolfsonkin, from the stars they haunt and maul. In the house of the unknown our sanity festers in clotted bud and bone. Horror ever-changing and unfamiliar as thine most haunted dreams. Mind and body tortured by ethereal dread and sinful screams. As spirits enkindled in curdled blood malform into nameless horrors, not of gas nor ghost, but foreign images of wrought rage and requiem. Upon my bloody knees I crawl into the ether of despair amid death. In the vile reaches I wander eternally, broken and bound. Though brief, the dark poet's maddening tale paints a terrifying picture of his final days on earth. As for me, I have my own harrowing tale to recite, for I too wandered into the accursed dwelling. Its history is unknown, as well as its purpose. Its design is unlike anything this earth has seen. Twisted at impossible dimensions, the structure towers high into the heavens, leering down upon mortals with a sickening sneer. Dark abysmal colors of malice and lust linger upon its surface as the thick, dense stones stand on end, barely supporting the structure's massive frame. Jagged, molten material glows with the souls of suffering as a swirling toxic wind swirls inside, sending the echoes of past atrocity to the ears of the innocent. Lying in wait, it acts as an incubator for a living plane of terror. First it whispers in your dreams, tempting you with flirtatious damnation. In spirited angst, it then burrows deep into your mind, triggering paranoia and deep obsession. step after step, till blood filled my foot. I'll walk to that damnable structure. She tried so desperately to stop me. Though she could not understand, she tried so hard. You should have left me. As my obsession grew, so too did my anger, which I often aimed at her. Paranoia ate away at my soul, cleaving away all sentiment of sanity. Step by step, I walked alongside a sinister presence, larger than any mortal may comprehend, as visions of planescapes rigid and bright filtered through my broken mind. Long, elongated hands reached from the depths and grabbed at my body, pulling me yet closer and closer to the edge of reality. Ever vigilant, she never let go, until I made her. As I approached the entrance, my trance was temporarily broken. Realizing the horror I opposed, I froze in place. Grabbing me for one final embrace, she tried to lure me away, and in my fear and panic, I fed her to it. I am weak and shamed, but do not judge me harshly, for no one can withstand the horror of that dreaded place. Ever since, I have seen her trapped between two worlds in a dizzying reflection of horror and pain. It is a mirror of sorts, a mirror whose reflection reveals the pain and suffering of love's twisted and rotten humor. I am bombarded with her nude body, cold and malformed, being bred with monstrous beings over and over as her eyes leer helplessly, and her laughter echoes with painful pleasure. She crawls with twisted neck, cackling and musing in my horror. When I sleep, she peers around the corner of our room, bending her head to abstract dimensions, whilst being assaulted by those things. I have seen her torso twisted on end, as she walks upon her palms swelling with child. I have seen her filleted and skinless, with fingers moving in and out of her innards. I have seen her malformed into a being of clear skin, headless, with her head and toe following her like some stray dog, all while screaming with glee. Now I do what must be done. I cannot leave her alone there. I must do what is right. I must enter that accursed dwelling and join my lovely in the bowels of torture. I leave behind this account, and that of the one who came before me, as a warning to any and all who hear whispers in their dreams. No matter what, you must never listen to the whispered, the dreamers, nor those who dwell in darkness.